Hey guys, it's Ryan here, bringing you episode number 5 of the Career Mode series, and today we are at the Principality of Monaco for round 6 of the championship, and we are heading into our cars. We're about to go 20 laps around this very tight and twisty track, but we got pole position in qualifying. We pipped Vettel by 0.2 of a second, and then Lewis Hamilton in 3rd place. But quickly, we've got to go run through the setup I'll be running. Monaco, a highly downforce track, so you need a lot of front wing angle here. So I'm going to be sticking with 5-1. The brakes, low standard for me, for a pad. If you're a no assist and you're using a wheel, I would recommend medium standard. The balance 6-11 for we want a lot of turn in, so that's why I've got that there. Suspension, I've only dropped the rear springs to 9 to give a bit more traction. The gearbox there, just 3 clicks to the left, and the alignment was the same as every other track I go to. The strategy, fuel aggressive strategy for this one for the second race in a row. And we'll be pitting on lap number 8. As we're about to leave the garage now, it's going to be a very hard one, this one. I mean, Monaco is very tricky to get right. On a pad, with no assists, and with Legend AI, who are very quick round here. So hopefully we can get a good, strong finish here. Possibly a podium, but our team thinks we're going to take a win here, our objective. So we're on to the grid. We have... There's me on pole position with Vettel behind 2nd and Hamilton in 3rd. And my teammate is somewhere in the middle of the pack. I'm not really sure where he finished, but he was outside the top 10. So we are waiting for the lights, as we are going to start episode 5 of the Career Mode series, and the lights are out. So as you can see, I go straight to lean, as I don't want to wreck the rear tyres, because rear tyres around here are the key to get right. As you'll see in this video, I'll be doing a lot of wheel spin, and that is bad because then the rear tyres will go, and that means I'll probably have to pit a bit earlier than lap 8. So this race was it was quite an interesting race to start with. The first maybe half of the race was pretty interesting. The top 5, me, Hamilton, Webber, Vettel, Button, and I think it was Alonso as well, and Rosberg, were all in 3 seconds of each other. It was just like the 2012 Monaco Grand Prix in real life. So you'll see that frequently throughout this race, and you'll see me making a couple of mistakes in this race as well. And it's going to be very tricky, as I've said, Monaco is demanding to get right. You've got to get every corner right, every apex, get your braking right. Because if you lock your tyres, you're going straight into the wall and you're going to lose your wing, or even worse, you're going to crash out. As you come to the last couple of corners here, and Hamilton's only a second behind us at the minute, but we're going to use the remaining of our curves, and I'll be going through the track guide for Monaco next week, and it's not the fastest lap, I'm not going to say, but it will give you a guide on how to take the corners there. So we're just going to go to lap number 5. The distance between the 5 drivers the top 5 is relatively the same, but we are up on our time by 2 seconds, which is pretty impressive, as we're starting to pull away from Hamilton. As what I did in this race regarding fuel was to run lean for the first 4 laps, and then just to save a bit of time degradation and also increase our fuel, as we had a light car at the start, as we get the fastest lap as 17.6. And we pulled 0.2 on Hamilton in that last sector, so hopefully we can keep this gap as it is, so we can hope to go to the pit lane, the pit stops, and hopefully we can get keep the distance the same. So we're still up by a 10th, but Hamilton gained 3/10 on that. I think the first sector, the forcing is not the best. I think it might be turn 1 because we're braking a bit early, but we're not confident with the setup on the brakes, so we're just going to take it nice and smoothly in the first sector. But the middle sector, we are the fastest of anyone. We're about 0.2 quicker in qualifying, so hopefully to be the same there. But this corner is a very tricky one to get right. If you hit those curves on the right hand side, you will lock your tyres. And also there, as you saw, I hit the barrier, so it kind of cut a bit of the corner. Yeah, so I apologise for that. Swimming pool complex is just basically flat out, and the swimming pool corner chicane is very tricky as well. You don't hit that curb on the right hand side, you could lose your front wing. But again, the gap is still the same of 0.9 as we go a bit wide there, and Hamilton has a great chance to overtake us. He has the DRS, but he's not going to be that close to overtake us, so he's gained half a tenth on us as I lock the front left. As you can see, it is tricky to get right. As you can see there as well, our tyres are wearing down, so we're going to lap 8, and this is where we're going to be pitting now, as I don't want to stay out as long as possible, so I don't want to lose any track position. And I think we were the only ones to pit here, so it was quite interesting to see that Hamilton, Webber, Vettel and Rosberg stayed out for... They didn't pit till lap 10, as you will see, and you'll see what will happen. But another good pit stop here by the Force India crew. 3 point, just under 4 seconds. It's pretty good, but we're going to drop down to 16th place or 18th place. I can't. Yeah, we're dropping to 18th. But remember, the guys in front have not pitted, and this lap and the next lap they all pit. So it's going to be a very interesting next couple of laps here for me, as I always do in every race when I come out the pit lane. I use about a third or a quarter of the curves to get some speed. So we've gone to lap 10. We had a couple of people pitted, so we jumped to 9th place. And I'd take a very bad entry into this hairpin, really bad, as you see there, hit the wall. And then again, I just braked a bit too late, and I hit the wall, and I lose a bit of my end plate there. And just lucky to not hit that wall again, and I could lose a bit more of my wing. So, coming now, this is the lap where I think it kind of cost me the race, in my opinion. Those mistakes on that lap cost me dramatically, but as you'll see in a minute, as you can see on the screen, the top, I think everyone in front is pitting. All 9 cars in front are pitting now. As you're coming towards the final corner, this is where I went wrong. I braked late again, and I hit the wall, so I lost a bit more time. And I have to admit, it was a good exit out of the last corner and used the curves. But as you will see in a minute, cars are leaving the pit lane. Hamilton's ahead. You get past Rosberg and Webber just in time. I hit the wall again and just nearly lose it, but you lose a place to Hamilton, and Hamilton does regain the lead, which is not good to see. And we're on to lap 12, and the gap is still the same. It stays like this now until what happens on lap number, I think it's lap 14, or it all ends well. Doesn't end well for me. But 7 tenths, and as you can see, we've just lost DRS, and this was a big factor, especially in this last sector, because I could have gained and stayed on the back of him, and I didn't have any curves for this lap. So I think that having no DRS did prove to be the decisive moment for this part of the race. As you can see there, Hamilton gained time on us, and he did get the fastest lap here at 17.5, and he starts to pull away a bit as he's on fresher primes, and we've got 2 laps more on our prime, so our primes are going to be running out quickly than Hamilton's and Webber's are. But the gap is still just under 2 seconds, and it really, if I'm honest, stays like this throughout the whole race until lap number, I think 16, I think it is. So we're going to mainly focus here on this battle between me and Hamilton as we're going on to 14. And as you can see, we're purple on this lap, and I do believe this is the fastest lap. I'm not sure, I can't remember from when I did this, but we're closing in on Hamilton, and Webber's 2 seconds behind, and the gap is increasing between me and him, which is good to see. And we do get into the 16s, the 16.7, as we get the fastest lap, and we're just under a second now from Hamilton. But as you can see, still we have no DRS, which doesn't really help, really, because I wanted to get really close to Hamilton and try and attempt a move in the closing stage, the last possibly 3 laps of the race, as we're going to be going on to the next lap. And as you can see, our fuel was on -1, but we have to lower the fuel. Only use the fast fuel mixture for this part here, but I go really, again, I brake late, hit the wall, put in the standard just to save a bit of fuel. As we're coming towards Sander Vort, I brake late, bad entry, hit the wall, and yeah, I hit, and that really ended my race for a win. So our main objective now was to finish in 2nd place, as my engineer did tell me that Webber has a penalty, and what I didn't know was Hamilton had a penalty as well. But we're going on to the 9th lap, the penultimate lap now, and coming to start the final lap. We're being cautious on fuel, as our fuel was -1 on this lap, so we had to fuel sieve, and as you can see, I'm losing the back end now as my rears have definitely gone. Now, as we are approaching the final corner to start our final lap, Hamilton, I believe, is about just under 10 seconds up the road. He's 9 seconds, so if we stay 10 seconds from Hamilton, we have won the race. But as you can see here, we've got our fuel to +1, so we're going to take a gamble and run the whole of this last lap on rich fuel to hopefully get the fastest lap and pull away from Mark Webber, even though he has a penalty. But we're coming into the hairpin now. This is probably the most demanding corner to get right. As you can see, I go a bit wide, not the racing line route that I would normally take. But as you can see, we are really struggling now on these primes now, as the rears have definitely gone from us, and having no front, losing a bit of the end plate is not good as well. As we're coming towards here, this very tricky corner, we lost the back end and we have lost our wing, and we have basically lost our chances of a podium. But do remember, Webber does have a penalty, but we have to scour the last maybe possible 5 corners with a broken wing, and it's very tricky. We've got Maldonado behind us, and we know what Maldonado is like, and we have another car as well, as Lewis Hamilton takes the win. I think it's his first win of the season, as I'm really struggling now to get round this final corner, but we need a good exit of this final corner, which we do, and we pull away and we keep 4th place. But remember, Webber's got that 20-second penalty, so we'll be promoted to 3rd place and another podium for us. But sadly, we did not beat our objective, and De Resta gets into the points as I believe it's his first points of the season, so very good to him. But the result, we have Hamilton winning with Rosberg 2nd, and Hamilton had that penalty, so Rosberg only just lost by 1.5 seconds with us 7 seconds down the road. Maldonado, Vettel, Alonso, Button, Schumacher, Raikkonen, and our teammate complete the top 10, as our rivals Alonso and Raikkonen did not get as many points as they would like. So as we will see, we have extended our lead in the championship by 28 points, as Jenson Button now has leapfrogged Alonso and Raikkonen, and Alonso and Raikkonen have dropped to 3rd and 4th. Grosjean stays in 5th. Rosberg's good podium finish gets him up to 6th place, with Maldonado, Massa, Webber and Schumacher completing the top 10. And Hamilton gets his first win, as he's jumped now up to 11th place. Constructors, Lotus didn't have a good race this time, as Ferrari and ourselves are now just under 15 points adrift from Lotus. So we are still, guys, in the race for the Constructors' Championship, but we really need our teammate to give us some contribution. But anyway, guys, that is the end of episode 5 of the Career Mode series. And as always, like and favourite this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content from the Career Mode series. But as always, guys, wherever you are in the world, have a great day, and I shall see you in Canada. Take care.